name is Bastian. I'm a guitar player, and I've recently come back from years of inactivity, of only playing and not really developing, practicing in any way, and started getting back into the practice game again. And there are a couple of things that I realized about my own practice, and from diving down in a couple of YouTube rabbit holes and seeing other people teach and learn, that I would like to talk about. And one of them today is the distinction between learning and practicing. And this might sound obvious. First you have to learn something, then you can practice it. But for some reason among guitar players it doesn't seem to be like that. Maybe it's because we all want to go faster and faster and faster, and we look at something, we download the tabs for something, we play it once, then we switch on the metronome and start increasing the tempo, and at some point it just falls apart and you're like, well, that's not what you want. So this became especially clear to me when I saw many videos with the absolutely awesome guitar player Andy Wood, absolutely one of my heroes, and he made that distinction. Well, he didn't make it first, but I saw it from him first, and I started wondering myself, well, maybe that's a mistake that I've been making for a lot of times, and it probably was. So let's say you want to start a new lick. We can take the one that I played in the introduction and later on as well. If we take that one, the first step, or if we take any lick, the first step has to be, how do I play this? There are questions to answer. Where are my fingers? How do I pick? Are there string crossings? Is there any sort of strategy? I can give you an example. There's this particular moment in this part of the lick where I've always struggled with that string change that I have to do with the first finger from that E to the B. They don't happen right next to each other. You've got that D in between there. But I started playing it with alternate picking first, and that didn't work out on tempo. Then I did that roll here. And at some point when I really got into it, what I have to do, I realized it isn't actually a full roll that I have to do. I don't have to move my finger a lot. I'm already here, and I just move my finger like 0.5 millimeter, and then I'm there. And realizing that and practicing that particular 4 or 5 note sequence over and over again made it much easier to get it on more speed later on. I'm not finished yet with the solo, I'm not finished with the song, but that was a big step to actually focus on how I have to do things if I want to do them. So when you're in the learning phase and you still do that, stop between the notes, take your time, put the metronome in a different room, because that's not its space yet. At least it wasn't for me. Just figure out, see, how you want to play something, figure out how you want to play something, and once you've done it, then you can start practicing, because the learning phase isn't the practice phase yet. I can't say that often enough. The problem is, if you start practicing too early, if you started too early, your movements are not the same. There's ever so minute a difference in your movements, a distinction between the different ways that you play things that you might not even realize, but it's there. So you're sending inconsistent signals to your brain, and your brain doesn't know which of those repetitions it should save as the standard one that it can use as orientation. So the more similar more similarly you play those repetitions when you're learning the lick before you get to the practicing part, the easier it becomes to practice it later. This is not psychology or romanticism or whatever, or artistriness. I don't know. This is just basic biology. There are studies on this. There's this review by Luft and Buitrago, that says that motor skills develop in phases, and the early phase is to build and stabilize motoric movements, and only in the later phase then is to use efficiency and speed, or introduce efficiency and speed. Another study by Fitz and Posner says there's a cognitive, an associative, and an autonomous phase to every motoric movement, whether you're throwing a ball or running or moving your arm or whatever. It can be everything. So the cognitive one would be the learning phase. The associative one would be where you perfect what you're playing. You look at everything. So this is also before the phase where you make the guitar phases and put the guitar and make the stupid faces like John Mayer does and everybody else when they're playing a fast lick. And then the latest phase, basically the autonomous phase, is where you can actually play it, where you're able to play it, and you can start the repetitions, and you can start increasing the tempo and the metronome and all that stuff that we guitar players love so much. So that's the phase then where the lick actually exists in your brain. And so on. That's probably also not very clean. Anyway. So the rule is first learn the lick, then and only then, when you've got it down, you practice the lick. Don't do it simultaneously. It will, for me at least that was the case, it will lead to frustration. It will lead to you having to go back and narrowing it down, finding your mistakes, realizing your mistakes, and correcting your mistakes. And avoiding those mistakes by starting out by really learning something, how you want to play it, and only then starting to practicing it, is an absolute... I don't want to say it's a shortcut, because it's actually the way you're supposed to go anyway. But for me it was a shortcut, realizing this, because I've done it wrong for many, many times. You can do a self-test if you like. You can wake up in the morning, grab your guitar, and if you can play this lick, whatever it is that you want to learn by heart, if you can play it without looking at tabs or any printouts or whatever, then you can play it, and then you can start practicing. Everything else, as I said before, leads to frustration. So save yourself that frustration, because guitar playing and making music in any way, shape or form is supposed to be fun and enjoyable. So let's focus on that part, on the fun part, on the enjoyment part, and leave out the frustration, because nobody needs that anyway. Okay, don't know about you, but I'm gonna go practice now, and hopefully I'll see you in another video very soon. Thank you.